Hello friends and welcome to Edupedia World Videos. So this is our first exercise, first practical video in the course Basics of Programming in C language. So first time we will be writing an actual program apart from the Hello World and the other programs that we have just done for an introduction. This is the first time that we are going to write a program, and this program will concentrate on variables and operators in C language. So the theory of this has been already covered. Okay, now we will write a program to say add two integer variables. So for addition we will need an operator, which is an addition operator or plus sign, and we will need three variables. Two, we will be adding them and we will be storing the result in the third variable. So how to do that? Just begin with the declaration of the variables. So variables should be declared by general C practice. A good C practice is to declare the variable just at the beginning of a block. So these brackets over here mark the beginning and the ending of the block of the main function. After the beginning we will declare our variables. So we can put a comment, these are variables. Okay, so we will declare variables of integer type. So let us name them num1 and let us initialize it to 0. Okay, then we will declare another variable num2 and initialize it to 0 as well. Okay, and the third variable is result. So here we will have our addition result stored, initialize it to 0 as well. Okay, so now let us assign some values to our variables. Num1 is equal to say 100. Okay, num2 is equal to say 200, and now we have to perform our operation of addition of these two variables. So result equals to num1 plus num2. Okay, so this will do is this will add those two variables and store the result in result. Now we can also print this result on screen. We have learnt about printf statement. So first thing that comes inside a printf statement is our constant string. So in this constant string we will write the sum of, okay, now we have to specify the format specifiers which will act as placeholders for our variables. Sum of, we want to write it like that way, sum of 100 and 200 is, then we will, after is we will have our result. So sum of num1 and num2 is this. So all these format specifiers are %d because all are integers that we have to print. Okay, and in the same sequence we will give our variable names. So first in the sequence the first %d should be num1, so the sum of num1, second after the comma should be num2, and third is the result. Okay, now it will be printed in the same sequence. So sum of num1 and num2 is the result. Okay, now what we do is we save this program first of all and then we execute it. So first we compile it, build it, and then run it. So while we build it, it will show the log over here in the build logs tab, and here the result is successful. Okay, so it has not got any error. Suppose we miss the semicolon over here, okay, and we cause an error. So let's see what it does. Now it will report an error expected semicolon before printf on this line. So it is expecting a semicolon before this line, and here we have missed a semicolon. So that was just to simulate an error and show you how the errors are reported. Now let us compile it again, and it has reported no error. So our code has been compiled, and to run it we will click on this green button. It opens the window and prints as expected the sum of 100. Okay, now let us refer to our printf statement also side by side. The sum of this whole part is over here. The sum of num1 %d has been substituted by num1 value which is 100, and second %d which is substituted by this num2 value 200 is the result which is here. Third %d is substituted by result which is 100 plus 200 is equal to 300. So the sum of 100 and 200 is 300. Okay, so this was one basic example of how to use our variables and our operators. Okay, now let us study about some other operators. Like let us study about our modulus operator. So now we will perform a code on our modulus operator. Instead of this, what we tried, let us try and do num, say num1 only, num1 modulus num2. So now result will, instead of addition, it will contain the remainder of dividing percentage d by percentage d, of division of percentage d by this is. Now it will print the remainder of division of num1 by num2 is the result. Okay, now just save it and let us compile it. It has compiled, no errors. Now let us execute it. Okay, the remainder of division of 100 by 200 is 100. So 200, if you divide 100 by 200, you will get a remainder equal to 100. So that is very correct. Now let us try by changing these values. Instead of 100 and 200, let us write something. Okay, let us write 11 and here write 2. So now our result should be 1 because 2 5s are 10 and the remainder should be 1. Okay, now if we compile the program and run it, let us see the output. Okay, so the remainder of division of 11 by 2 is 1, which is correct as we expected. Now let us enhance our program and add another variable to it. Okay, so instead of result we will call it the remainder, and we will add another variable to it which is the quotient. Okay, excuse me if the spellings are wrong because I'm not too good at the spelling. So I'll write quotient is this. Okay, now what we do is the remainder of division of this by the way is this, and the quotient is, again we will put a percentage d over here, and this result is not there. Okay, now what happens if we compile this program, it will again report an error. So let us see what the error is. Result is undeclared, so it is saying undeclared first use in this function. So this is undeclared. Okay, so it has not found it anywhere. So you have not declared this variable but you are still using it, that is why it is undeclared. So instead of this we will write remainder, which we have declared over here. Okay, and we will also calculate the quotient by dividing num1 with num2. Okay, so it will divide num1 and num2 and then result will be stored in the quotient. So instead of this we write remainder and then we'll write quotient, and we save the program and let us compile it and run it. So the remainder of division of 11 by 2 is 1 and the quotient is 5. So 2 5s are 10 and the 1 is a remainder. So our program is working just as expected. Okay, fine. So apart from it we will learn one other operator now. Instead of this, let us, you can also experiment with multiplication, subtraction and other operators. Now let us check that miscellaneous operator that we did was the size of operator. So does that operator work? So let us declare some, instead of these variables. Okay, what I will do is I will declare some character variables. Character ch1 equals to, and I will allocate a character capital Q to it. Sorry, I'll allocate a character capital Q to it. Okay, now I will try to print the size of these two variables, so I don't need these statements anymore. Let us delete these statements and also change our output string. So here we will write the size of num1 is percentage d and the size of ch1 is again percentage d. So here we will write size of num1. Okay, so now since size of is an operator that will return an integer value, we have taken percentage d over here only. Okay, so size will always be integer, so that is why we have taken percentage d over here. Now comma for the another substitution for the another size of ch1. Okay, so this is our program. Let us save it and then build it, then run it. So it should print, okay, the size of num1, since it is an integer, the size is 4 and the size of ch1 is 1. So what we can do is we can again create a small program and see the output of sizes of various data types that we have studied till now. So we'll just write printf, okay, and the size of, I'll copy this statement from over here, okay, and then I will substitute various data types inside this. Okay, this will increase our knowledge in C, because generally it is expected in C interviews that you know the size of various data types of C language. So we will begin with int. Size of int is, we'll also specify size of int. So size of operator, you know, it is not mandatory that you use it with a variable only, but you can also use it with a data type also. Okay, size of char is size of char. Okay, so size of int is, we will have to write percentage d over here, that I forgot. Percentage d. Apart from char, what else we had read? Okay, pointer is percentage d, and here we will have the data type of the pointer, which is, we can take int star. Okay, that is the pointer. So all the pointers will have a similar size that we will see. So int pointer, and now let us see the size of a char pointer also is percentage d. Okay, and over here we write a, give a char pointer as the data type. Okay, apart from this, let us also see the size of double, and float is percentage d. Here we will give double. Okay, let us have one more line for floating point also, and that will conclude our program. Float. Now let us save this code. Let us build it and see if there are any errors in our code. No errors, so let us run it. Now what the mistake we did was, there was not a syntax error but a logical error. We did not have a new line statement at the end of our printf command. So because of that, all the outputs are displayed in the same line and it makes it illegible, not readable. So we will have a \n that signifies new line, and the compiler will place a new line after every statement and all the result will come under new lines. Okay, now again let us save it and compile it and run it. Now let's see our result. So now it is much more clear. The size of int is 4, char is 1. The size of int pointer is 4, size of char pointer is 1. Now pointer is always by default stored in an integer type of variable, so its size will always match an integer variable. Okay, so be it a char pointer, a double pointer, or a float pointer, that doesn't matter. The thing that you have to keep in mind is the size of pointer is always equal to the size of an integer. Now size of double is 8 and size of float is 4. So float, int and pointers have same size. Double is the largest data type with size of 8 bytes, and char is having a size of 1 byte. Okay, so this was another function, another program that we have learned regarding operators and variables. So I hope you enjoyed this video and understood the basics told in that video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you continue to watch Basics of Programming in C language. Thank you.